Hi folks, I understand that many people still can't see the Nazca Lines that I found here in South Texas near Marfa, so I thought I'd start off with the Eye of Horus, because the saying goes that if you can see with the Eye of Horus, then you can know all the mysteries. This is inverted. You can clearly see the lines. Now the light and dark is a little bit hard to get used to. This is with my lines. In other words, after I've followed the lines. And it looks like an Eye of Horus to me. Now I'm going to show you Marfa area map. Just plain. This is inverted, and there's a symbol on the mountainside. And there's this stuff too. This is artwork. It's not. It is not a runoff or anything of the sort. There's also some kind of bars here, and I believe that they're going to turn out to be copper. This is center Marfa. This is retouched. You can see the bars. I believe there's also a face in there. There's the city of Marfa, and I'm off to the west, and I wanted to show you what this looks like. There are tiled off squared areas. It's all polygonal, not really square though. This is done like a Mayan wall. Here's the unretouched Marfa area map, just south of Marfa. This is the area that I've actually found all these lines. Again, you see, this is not a runoff. This exists just to look at. Otherwise, it would have to be some kind of an acid spill. But you can see that the area has been flattened, just like in Nazca, where they sawed off a part of a mountain to do their art. Close up northeast and retouched. You can clearly see polygonal lined, and then there's these lines. These lines go from area to area, and they have little arrows on them pointing you which way to go, which way to look. This is Marfa area. This is the whole area where I found most of the Nazca Lines. Again, you see that it's all polygonal construction. I can only pull in so much, like on a retouched photo, otherwise it starts breaking up. This is an African noble face that I believe I found. This is how the face looks when I retouch it. These are the same stone, so they show up under the same lighting. This is one of the African faces I think is actually posed in the mountaintop area around Marfa. This I call Anu spreading seed. Again, you'll see the lines just barely. But when I invert it, you can see that they have little arrows pointing you which way to look, which way to go. This, I believe, is a matriarch, or a pharaoh, female pharaoh. Jawline, lips, beautiful, beautiful eye. This is another form of retouching, just trying to help you see these lines that are all over the place. This is a close-up of her eye area, unretouched. And for those of you who can see the lines, bravo! This is how it looks, just color enhanced. You can clearly see these lines are ancient, and they're just like the lines in Nazca, and just as artistic. I call these radial lines, but it looks like there might be something written here. There's a retouch. I'm not real sure about this up here. This is inverted, and this might be some kind of writing. This I call a face. For those of you who could see it without the retouch, I applaud you. That's how it looks retouched. These I'm calling faces, but I think this face is that you have to turn the whole thing on its head. Again, you'll see the lines. Again, you'll see the arrows pointing you to go in that direction. This is all over the place, but you can kind of see this face here. What they did is they used one single kind of rock per face. Now this I'm calling the giant. This is the area that I was working with. And this doesn't help it much, but you can see the eye better, and the lines really show up a little better under inverting. This I'm calling hand to God, and not sure why, but there might be faces here. And you'll see, anytime you have eyes, when you can find eyes in the plateau here, it's going to be a face. Again, you'll see the lines come together. They really like the sun pattern. This is what I'm calling the boat area. And that's it retouched somewhat. I did not invert this one. Texas stars. Notice this up here? This is what happens when you invert and enhance a little bit of color. These things show up really well under inverting, and they're not a water runoff. This is some kind of an artwork. But you can clearly see the Nazca style lines and the radiant lines coming from a sun figure up there. This is called, I'm calling the pyramid book area, and it's also part of that you were just looking at. This is what I'm calling the pyramid book. I believe this is a face. It's what it looks like with the color inverted. You can barely see the lines are still here, but they're here. This is, I believe, is a rendition of a pyramid book, and it has radiant lines that go off that way. This is the Texas cross area, and that, I mean, it's just a cross figure in Texas. Again, you'll see the artwork underneath it, and you'll notice that these tiles are different color too. Again, Nazca lines all over the place, with arrows pointing you where to look next. This is that same area with the cross and inverted, so you can see the radiant lines from a sun figure down there. This, I believe, is a Muslim crescent, and you can see the lines, but they're very, 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 very old. This, I believe, is a Tao, or a yin-yang figure, if you will. This is how it looks with color enhanced. Notice all the lines. These are not part of the tile work. This is done separately, and they want you to look down their lines for their history. Now we come to the fun part. Yeah, I think that's a nameplate or a date of some sort. This is inverted, and you can clearly see this has got structure to it. This, I believe it might be one of the symbols that the Egyptians use. And this is cutting across. And you kind of see an eye of Horus up here. I believe this is one of the plaques that pharaohs had their names or such on. And there's this guy. I love this guy. This is retouched. You can see he wears a necktie of some sort. There might even be some writing up here. But you can see him a lot better as if you light up from underneath. And I wanted to end with this just because this existed before I found the lines in Texas. This is in Saskatchewan, Canada, and there's no physical way that this can happen naturally, no matter what geologists or archaeologists tell you, because we have a lost history. I love the eyes. They really cared about this and their race, and they treated all as equals, apparently. All religions are pictured in the Texas lines, and I hope that you go down there and check it out yourself. But in the meantime, for those who did not believe that these are indeed Nazca lines, I hope that you can see them a little better in the retouched photos. Thank you very much for your views. And let's all see with the eye of Horus. Unretouched, inverted, and how I've configured the lines. Thank you very much.